am.
Yeah, man, because you're over here telling me about your goddamn walkabout, how you really want to do it and all this shit. And then I'm telling you about the business, and you're like, "Ooh, I'll come fucking work with you."
Well, I can walk about any time, as long as I'm not dead, which we talked about on a different episode where, you never know when you're going to die. But
That's true.
as long as I'm not dead, I can do my walkabout. There's a dude I watch on YouTube that's doing his walkabout. He has kids. He moved his whole family to Alaska to do that thing.
Yeah.
So, and the kids love it. They prefer it. He lived in Virginia.
Hey, what can I talk about today?
I should probably tell you you're already recording.
I want to talk about. Well, listen. I mean, it's obvious, right? You look at me, and it's very obvious that I have had some type of surgery, and I feel like it's gonna come up, and I just want to bang that out.
On missions, they called him Teacup.
Listen here, because I got some shit to tell you.
Now, he's telling the boys what he knows.
Wait, what?
This is Teacup Talks.
But I want
Alright.
to tell a funny story first.
Go for it.
But then we can shoot the shit about the planned event, which was
I've learned to hold plans very loosely with both of you. But that's close to what you were going to talk about tonight. So why don't you talk about that, and then I'll let you know if you hit on the topic.
okay.
My
One
listening ears.
One C's got our back, boy, and we can't fuck up.
All right, my listening ears are engaged.
So listen. No shit, there I was. Hey, listen, let me ask you. Do you manscape?
Yes,
All right, it's a must.
it is. Especially since we live down here and it's hot.
It's friggin'
So,
hot.
Yeah.
But also, you want to be a courteous partner, okay?
Yeah.
And if I'm nothing if not courteous. So anyways, I manscape and I go to the skin, brother. I take the razor blade.
Oh, I can't go that far. I don't trust myself, dude.
All right.
That's scary.
You use a safety razor. I mean, you can't get nothing cut. I mean, the blades are so close together. How are you going to get anything caught in there? Now, I have nicked myself a couple times. No
But
big
it's
deal.
also so sharp that you probably don't feel it.
No, you
If
feel
I had to
it.
guess.
No. You
No? Okay.
you feel it.
I just want to note there are moments I deeply regret choosing to produce this show. Go along, you're manscaping. Go ahead.
You can blame yourself for this one.
I don't even know what to say. I'm sorry.
She even approved this topic too.
She did approve. I gave
She
the
said,
warning
Yeah.
You're not
beforehand.
wrong. You're not wrong. Go ahead. I will
There
be
were
quiet.
content warnings. You
So
can't
listen.
blame anyone now.
One of my features is my beautiful beard. I have this beard because I don't like shaving.
I don't like it either. I just don't think I look good with any facial hair. I'm also not there yet. I might be too young for it still.
Yeah,
We'll see.
Come in a little patchy.
It's weird. It comes in. I wish they could see it how I'm moving, but it comes in a little bit, and then when it gets towards here, it just and then cuts back down until here. So there's a weird block on either side. It's weird.
That might just be your thing, man.
Yeah,
Everybody's
but then
different.
I gotta do handlebars, and I don't know.
Oh, handlebars are cool.
Absolutely not.
Yes, they are.
Well, they're cool on some people, and if they ride Harley Davidsons and or Indian style motorcycles. I do not ride Harley Davidsons.
Just get a hat or a jacket that says it, and nobody's the wiser. Listen, I get ingrown hairs.
Everybody does. Oh, you mean, okay, sorry, misunderstood.
So that's why I get the beard. I don't like shaving because I get them. I had to have a couple cut out of my face, man. It fucking sucks.
Oh, bad.
Yeah. Well, I was, I shaved my nuts. And I ended up getting an ingrown hair.
That's now going to be my, I'm terrified of that now.
Listen, I've been doing it for a long time. This is the first time this has happened. And obviously it was bothering me,
Yeah.
and I can't inflict pain on myself, so I showed Sweetness.
Oh God.
And Sweetness, she's a Dr. Pimple Poppin' loving ass.
Oh my God.
She says, I got this. I'll get that out.
No.
She fucking squeezed it, dude.
I thought you said you were courteous. That's not courteous.
No, I was courteous for shaving. She's courteous for inflicting damage that I could not do.
Oh my God. You made her.
I didn't make her.
Go-
She was willing. After this, you can ask her. She was very willing. She loves Dr. Pimple Popper, dude.
Oh my God.
You get a cyst or something, she loves it.
That's what?
Yeah. So, she squeezes it to get the hair out.
Does it work?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm like, is this about to make a very dark turn?
However,
Oh God, it is.
it's hot here.
It is hot here.
Balls sweat.
Yeah.
This fucker gets infected.
Nice.
Because now it's an open wound because
Yeah.
she squeezed the fuck out of it.
Oh no.
So the next day, when I have a third testicle, I show my wife, who says, I can get that.
No.
She squeezed the fuck out of it again, dude. I
Oh,
didn't have a choice.
Oh.
I had a third testicle, dude. I had to do something. You got to do something.
bro, doctors have like numbing agents and stuff, right?
Yeah, but you don't, listen. We're men. We don't go to the doctors first. You don't do that first. That's a last resort.
Ask producer over there. I know. I never go to the doctor.
That's
It's
right.
bad.
Last resort.
I broke my leg at work, and I was like, nah, we're good. I just kept walking around on it. It was fine.
Yeah. And look at you now. You're fine.
I have a dent in my leg, and it still hurts. It's been a month and a half.
That's pretty funny. That's pretty funny. But at the same time, you're also a grown man. You could have taken your own ass to the doctor.
Oh, I could. I just didn't want to.
It's not that big of a deal. However, when you have a third testicle, it becomes a big deal.
That is a big deal.
So, naturally, after the second squeezing,
Don't say that.
the second milking of this third testicle. Listen. So
We definitely have to mark this one 18 plus.
I said, my wife said, you got to go to the doctor. And I was like, yeah, I'll go tomorrow. And I go to the VA.
Mm.
And so the next day comes, because I'm courteous, I take a nice shower.
Mm-hmm.
I'm about to go present myself to the doctor.
Yeah.
And so I do that, and I go over there, and they call me in the back. And when I first started contracting, I had to get a physical done, and I went to the VA to do it. And my doctor was a female at the time.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the things that she had to do was check my nuts, make sure that, they looked in function normally. I don't know.
Well, it's probably to make sure that you're not already messed up because
Yeah.
then it could be a liability on them. Yeah.
Hernia or something. I don't know. So I was just trying to get her to sign off on this boatload of paperwork. I was physically fit. I think I was 28. I was physically fit, no problems. But she wanted to see everything until we got to the nuts. She did not want to see those, and I was like, what are we doing? Now. At first, I didn't want to show them to you either. But now you
now
want to
we're
do
here.
everything else. Now I'm curious. I want to make sure they function right. You're the doctor.
You're the one that should know.
She said, no, you would know if you had a problem. I was like, okay.
Would I, though? I mean, there's some guys that just have no clue, though.
And we'll get into this. And so I get into the doctor's, the room, and the nurse is a female, and there's two of them. And I'm like, hey, just so you know, this problem's on my nuts. Just,
Mm-hmm.
I don't mind if it's you two. I don't care who it is. Just
I want to
letting
make
you
sure
know.
you're good with it.
Yeah. And they were fine. And I was like, okay. And then they brought out this TV, and I was going to do a video.
What?
Yeah, because, they didn't have my doctor moved somewhere. My doctor
Okay.
moved somewhere, so I have to get a new doctor. But while I'm waiting for that, I was going to get this doctor on this TV, which I thought was pretty cool.
So your doctor did a Zoom call
He was
to
going to
look
zoom.
at your nuts.
He was going to zoom into my nuts.
Oh
But
my
listen,
God.
but apparently there's some kind of like thing where you can't show genitals on the.
Well, yeah, because if someone had ill intent, they could record that.
I guess I didn't really think about it. What do I care? I don't give a shit. You know. I don't know. You seen one nut, you seen them all. Like, I don't know. I don't know.
This is
You
a
know?
fun episode, man.
And so they figured that out. Like, you can't show your stuff on the camera TV thing. So they're like, all right, let me go get the doctor here. And I'm like, oh, okay. So the doctor comes in. It's a female doctor. So I'm like, hey, just to let you know.
Mm-hmm.
And she's like, yeah, that's fine. And she's talking to me. And she's asking me about it. And I said, hey, listen, I had an ingrown hair. I told her all about it. Ingrown hair. Wife squeezed it a couple times, whatever. I think it's infected.
Mm.
And she's like, okay, let's see it. Well, I said, okay. And as I was standing up, she goes, what happened there? And she pointed at the lump and dent on my head. And so I started telling her, I was like, hydrocephalus. And she said, syphilis? And I was like, fuck no.
God.
I was like, fuck no.
Oh my God.
I said hydrocephalus.
Well, because that's when she's connecting the dots. She's
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
oh, duh.
She's about to look at my junk. I'm over here, syphilis, like, oh, I know exactly what's wrong with this dude's stuff.
Oh my God.
No, I corrected her real quick. And I'm gonna enunciate it a little better for everybody listening. Hydrocephalus.
Google it.
Google it. Anyways, and so we started talking about that a bit, and she's like, wow, you're lucky, because it's crazy, and we're going to get into this.
Mm.
And I was like, yeah. She goes, and, to look like this and to be like this, And I'm like, yeah. And she's like, all right, let's see it. And I'm like, all right, let's see it. And I pulled my pants down, and I showed her my stuff. In a warm room, it was down by the right testicle. The room gets a little chilly. I don't have to explain.
The imagination can take over.
Yeah.
From there.
I had to move my stuff a little bit for her to see it, and then she started squeezing on it. And I'm like, are you gonna lance it? I'm like, I want to get this over with.
Yeah.
Lance it, get the shit out, and let's move on.
And give me something so it doesn't keep going again.
Well, she just gave me an antibiotic, and she was like, I'm gonna make an appointment with you with urology so we can get an ultrasound. So I gotta get an ultrasound of my nuts now, make sure everything's good.
I actually had one of those one time because, believe it or not, COVID, one of the long-term side effects of COVID in some adolescent at the time meant, that's a good question. Am I still considered an adolescent
No.
at night?
No.
No?
No.
Okay, I don't know when that stops. So, but at the time, adolescent, you'll get random ball cramps. Like, we're talking debilitating. And my body decided to get one at frickin', 10 o'clock at night? It was great. So, and I didn't know what was going on. And I learned about this
This is going to be too much, but you sure you didn't just have to, take care of some stuff?
No, because
Get the poison out?
No, I went, but we did end up going to the ER because because I learned about this thing called a testicular torsion. You know what that is?
I do know what that
It's
is.
terrifying.
My buddy had it.
It
Ended
can
up
just
losing
happen.
his nut.
Exactly. And I'm like, dude, this hurt so
I
bad.
think he got his from running.
Well, and I was going through my head. I was like, have I done anything like weird? I don't know. I'd been kayaking a bunch. I'd been paddleboarding. I mean, maybe because I don't know, something could be wrong. So I went to the ER, and that was also a bunch of the guy doctors came in, right? And they're they're looking at it and they're like, so we're gonna order an ultrasound, okay? So I go to this other room. After we were sitting there for probably 2 hours waiting on them. We were just sitting there. Nobody came in. We went into the room. They asked me some questions. They looked at it. 2 hours we're sitting there. Nothing. Nobody comes in to check on us. Nothing. We're just sitting there like, hope they remembered we're here. So finally, she comes in to give the ultrasound. Which also at 15 was in the back of my head, of course, 15-year-old brain is thinking, I wonder if this is weird or not. But
No, mine would have been thinking like, Jesus, I hope my pants don't get tight.
which they did not. I was courteous. But
That's great, dude.
but yeah, it was weird because I thought ultrasound gel was cold. Not. It's warm. So it was weird. It was really weird.
No, listen, I think they did you a solid. I think they warmed it for you.
Maybe trying to help me out a little bit.
I think they do it for everybody, not just you. You know?
It was probably top 3 weirdest experiences I've ever had. Because also at like 15, you're thinking, I wonder if this is weird. It's not. They're doctors. Get over it. They do this for a living. Can you believe that? They chose to.
My son did this
job.
one time. He was getting his nuts checked by the doctor. And as soon as the doctor was like, all right, you got to pull your pants down, turn your head, and cough. My son just started giggling uncontrollably. He was like 7 or 8. He just started giggling uncontrollably. And I was just like, oh, God, this is uncomfortable. Like, I would hate to be one of these doctors, honestly. Not my doctor. I wouldn't hate to be my doctor. Because, like, they're like, hey, dude, we're going to touch your nuts. I'm like, hey, okay. You know?
Okay.
Do you need me to do anything? You know? Sometimes they need you to do something. You know, like sometimes you got to hold it. I don't like those times. Like I'm like, if I'm at the doctor's, you're the medical professional, you should hold it.
Oh, nah. So she used a towel, a warm towel. It was
that's courteous.
It was yeah. And she moved it and then put the thing over to kind of hold it out of the way because of course she had to work. So,
but you're also she knew you were 15 and she's not a scumbag. So.
Exactly.
I could see a grown man being like, ugh. It probably said something stupid. I can just imagine it. God, I wouldn't want to be.
I almost slept through it because it was like 4:00 in the morning. So like at that point I had slept in that room. So I only vaguely remember looking over at the ultrasound and being like, oh, that's cool. And then that's about it.
You saw your own nuts.
I did.
From the inside.
Yeah. It was kind of interesting actually. It's like when I got an X-ray for when I broke my bone. That I thought that was super cool. Even though like it didn't click
that's
in my
common.
head.
I feel like that, you know, that happens all the time. Just about everybody's seen an X-ray of one of their bones or something. Not everybody has seen an ultrasound video of their nuts.
It was cool. I thought it was cool.
I have a video of my brain surgery.
That's cool.
And so I kind of wanted to get into that.
Go for it.
So the lump and dent is from 2 surgeries. Now, I kind of explained this to you a little bit.
Yeah.
But I found out that I was afflicted with hydrocephalus, not to be confused with some venereal disease. When somebody doesn't enunciate properly, sounds similar.
We should probably define for the audience what hydrocephalus
I was about to
is.
say.
So hydrocephalus means water on the brain. So I had hydrocephalus, aqueductal stenosis, and I got a cavernous malformation as well. But I didn't know about this until I was in the military. And it's crazy how I found out. I was about to deploy, and we were doing all this bullshit getting ready to deploy, and one of the things is you go and you get your hearing checked and you get your vision checked and you get all these shots and everything. Well, I had not done so hot on the hearing test.
Mm-hmm.
So they said, hey, you're going to go and do a MRI to make sure you don't have a tumor on your eardrum. And I was like, all right, cool. So I go do the MRI. The neurosurgeon's office calls me and says, hey, you don't have a tumor on your eardrum, so that's good.
Nice.
Yeah. But you do have something else, and we need you to come in. And so they gave me an appointment.
They didn't tell you?
No.
They're just like, hey, man.
No, they don't do that over the phone.
So there's something else wrong with you, and you're just going to live with it until your appointment. Just be cool, I guess.
I was just like, I wonder what it is.
Oh, I'd be freaking out. I'd be like, what? Because it's one thing if they're like, if it's something about, your hand. They're checking out your hands.
Why
or
would you
something.
freak out about that?
Because it's something with your brain. That could kill you.
Yeah, but it doesn't matter. It's out of our control, dude. You know how to do brain surgery? I can't do it.
Nope, not a
Yeah,
clue.
out of my control. I don't even care.
Well,
You can't do it well.
exactly. I feel like I could do it. Whether the person will survive it, we don't know.
You stay at a Holiday Inn or something. all of a sudden, you're a fucking brain surgeon.
Yep. Oh, nah, bro. We stayed at the Motel 8. We're good now.
I think that joke went over. Chip's head.
Yeah, I don't think he knows what that means.
Oh, did I miss something?
Yeah, that's all right.
Did I do a child thing?
You
No.
were not old enough for those.
That's all right.
commercials.
We have audience members that are, and they'll get it and they'll laugh, and then they'll laugh at you,
Yep.
and it's all a good laugh, and it's for good times. It's funny when you're like, huh, and I'm like, yeah, man, that's funny.
Anyways,
So there used
Yeah.
to be a commercial, and some dude would be on like some bullshit cruise or something. And they'd be like, "Oh, is there a doctor in the house?" And some guy was like, "I can help here," and he starts doing all this bullshit, saving a baby or something. And they're like, "Oh my god!" And he was like, "I have to tell you, I'm not a doctor, but I did stay at a Holiday Inn last night." Because you're supposed to be real smart for staying at Holiday Inns. That's the
bro, what?
It worked.
It did work.
You guys
We
are
stayed
weird.
at Holiday Inn.
I
because
like
that's
Holiday
where the smart
Inns.
people stay.
You guys were okay. You guys were just built different. Because what was that show we were watching last night?
I had them watch the 1981 episode of Gallagher.
I swear you guys
Yeah,
were on
that's cool.
crack all the time.
I like
There
Gallagher.
had to have been something in your water.
He died though, didn't he?
I think he did recently die.
Yeah.
Like how do you? There were maybe 3
Gallagher,
seconds.
you enjoyed it though, didn't you?
There were about 3 to 5 minutes where I was like, "Oh, that was funny." The rest of it, I'm like, "What is wrong with this guy? Is he okay? Is he having a mental breakdown? What's going on?"
So you did not enjoy it?
I mean, kinda.
Gallagher's hilarious.
Here's the thing.
He died in
enjoyed
November
it.
of 22.
I enjoyed it not from oh, this is actually funny. I enjoyed it from it's like watching a train wreck. So you're like, I don't know whether I should be laughing or calling a mental professional.
He's funny and he smashes shit, and you're like involved. You get seeds and shit on you,
Actually,
and pulp, and it's fun.
the best part of the show was when he winds up. Like, okay, so they try and smash these 2 watermelons together, and only one of them explodes. The other one's just hanging there, and it's completely fine. So he just looks at the thing, almost like offended that it didn't explode. So
It
he
was
just
supposed
walks
to
up-
explode. He was
Yeah.
offended.
So he just walks up, he looks at it, kind of gets like angry, and then walks up and just smashes one punch. The thing explodes everywhere. I'm like, I swear there had to be something in that where it exploded. There's no way he hit it that
Nah,
hard.
Gallagher ain't no bitch.
He's a sleeper. Just comes up, thing explodes.
He
all
probably
over
had
the
that
place.
old man strength. I think he was in his 40s or something at that time.
In
No way.
81. He was born in 1946. So yeah, at that point he was. What is that? It was 81 was the episode that I
I
showed
thought he
you.
was a
So
young guy that
getting there.
had like a bad haircut and stuff to intentionally look older.
No, the bad haircut was just funny.
Well, and he did not see an episode from the arena when the sledge-o-matic would come down on the watermelon. He watched an early episode where Gallagher would smash things with the sledge-o-matic, but
It was
he
like a
wasn't
minor
up to
thing.
yet smashing the
Ah.
watermelon.
Well,
He smashed a pineapple with the.
listen, I just suggest you continue your Gallagher journey. Enjoy, buddy. Enjoy.
Anyway, you found out you had hydrocephalus.
Yeah.
I was just about to go back to
Anyways.
that. So I found out I had, all right, so they said, hey, we're going to make an appointment for you. You're going to go see the neurosurgeon. So I go into the neurosurgeon's office, and, you had to be in uniform to go to these appointments, depending upon what the appointment was. So sometimes it was PTs if they were like going to look at your nuts, for example. You went in PT, so you didn't have to take a bunch of shit off.
Mm-hmm.
But I went in my camo, my ACUs. And I open the door. I go in. The doc's sitting there, and he's like, "Hey." I'm like, "Good afternoon, sir." And he's like, "Are you so-and-so?" And I'm like, "Yes." And he goes, "You're in the military?" And I'm looking at my uniform, and I look at him, and I'm like, "Yes, sir. They don't just give these away."
Nah, I just like wearing it, bro.
And he says, "You went to basic training, AIT, you did all that stuff. And now you're," and I was like, "Yes, sir."
How many years had you been in at this point?
I had only been in for like a year, not even.
Oh, okay.
It wasn't, no, it was a year at that point. A little over a year, actually. So I said, "Yes, sir." And then once we got through this madness, because like he was taken aback. Like I walked in and I sit down and he starts going over like my MRI.
Mm.
And I'm looking at my brain and like the ventricles. So the hydrocephalus, you have spinal fluid. Everybody has it. It protects your brain. It keeps it moist for most people. There's some people with dry, smooth brains. But ours are moist and lumpy. And, you know, these ventricles help pass this fluid out so it can get cleaned and, you know, get rid of it, and new fluid comes in, and it just repeats over and over again. But you have a point in your brain where the fluids drop out.
Mm-hmm.
So that was really small on me. And the fluids weren't dropping out at an appropriate rate, which was causing my ventricles to swell up. So the ventricles, oh, dude, the pictures of the ventricles. I'll see if I can find this stuff, and maybe we'll put it on the website or something. It's pretty gnarly. But the ventricles are huge. Like taking up there was a lot less gray matter than there should have been.
What's gray matter?
That's your brain.
Oh, okay. That's like the actual brain part of the brain?
Yeah.
Okay.
So
It's gray?
Did you not know that brains are gray?
No, I thought they were pink or like flesh color.
well, I mean, but
Have you ever heard a brain called gray matter?
there's fluid in your brain. So like when it's alive but when it's not alive, it's
Oh, that makes sense. Okay.
gray matter. You good?
That was yeah, I'm good. I just didn't know that.
Man, I love it. I love it.
I can't believe I didn't get taught that in school.
Okay, to be clear,
Why would you get taught that in school?
I took biology. They wouldn't teach us that.
What were you learning in biology?
Mitochondria is the powerhouse of the cell. That's about all I got.
And that's pretty cool, man, because you can go and you can plant shit now and you know why it grows. That's cool.
I mean, yeah. I already knew that. But okay.
So 40% of your brain is gray matter. 60% is made of white matter. Gray matter is neuronal cell bodies.
Oh,
and
we
their
were all
dendrites.
way off, except for 1C. So like the ventricles were taking up a lot of space.
Mm.
So this neurosurgeon was just like amazed that I could walk and talk, because
So are we, Teacup. So are we.
with the level of like pressure that was going on there, and the amount of space that was taken up by these ventricles.
Mm.
And then like, you know, I find out from this gentleman that like most people that are born with this condition are severely handicapped and don't live very long. And I don't know what the number is of people that are born like this. And then also like now, because you have all these imagings and all this, people go get their kids imaged when they're in the womb. We can figure these things out a lot sooner and they can get taken care of sooner. But like obviously I was born in the 80s, you know, my mom just assumed she had another fat-headed kid, you know. No big deal.
Mm.
And I didn't have any symptoms.
Well, 50% of infants who fail to have their hydrocephalus treated, which would be you,
That's me.
50% of them die.
So it was a 50-50 whether this dude is sitting right here.
That's wild,
Less
man.
than that, actually.
That's wild. So listen, I got this cavernous malformation as well. And I'm talking to the neurosurgeon. I'm like, how does this happen? Because I used to do some boxing. I've obviously done a few illicit drugs here and there. And I'm like, fuck, did I do this to myself? And so he's like, no. He goes, I think you had like a blood clot when you were in utero. He said, I think it should have killed you. He said, but I think the hydrocephalus helped push the pressure in your brain, helped push that blood clot out. So, like, the hydrocephalus saved your life. And I was like, oh, that's friggin' insane.
So it saved your life, but also, at the same time...
Well, the cavernous malformation is a dangerous thing, apparently.
And what is that, then?
It's just like a group of cells.
A cavernous malformation is a cluster of abnormal leaky blood vessels in the brain that can resemble a raspberry.
What
So
happens
your
if
fuel
it
lines are
ruptures?
You die.
Oh.
So your fuel lines are leaking.
So at some point,
She said,
this guy
well-
She says with all the love in the world.
this guy tells me, he's like, yeah, he goes, at some point, like those can rupture, and with the location of it, is like there's nothing we can do about that.
Well, this does say that cavernous malformations are rarely life-threatening because a cavernous that's a tongue twister. A cavernous malformation is not a brain tumor or cancer. It does not affect life expectancy in the same way that those conditions might,
Well, yeah,
because it
because
can
it's
be
random.
managed. Well, because it can be managed, which you do, right? Do you
No.
manage yours?
I don't know how to. There's nothing I can do for it.
It also just sounds just random.
Yeah. Like as you get older, your cells age,
Mhm.
and they just gradually fall apart, I think. Oh man, we're going to get so many smart people to come on here and be
they're-
smarter than us
Yeah,
and
they're gonna be
explain
like, you
it.
idiots. This
Yeah,
is how
yeah.
it actually works.
But I think I don't think we're far off here. But anyways, these cells age and they just deteriorate. So at some point that could eventually happen, or get into a car accident, it ruptures, and I just die or something.
Well, this says the most serious complications of cerebral cavernous malformations
There you go.
stem from repeated bleeding, known as hemorrhages. CCMs that bleed over and over again may cause a hemorrhagic stroke and lead to damage in the nervous system.
Fuck it. We're here for a good time, not a long time.
That's wild.
Certainly
This
doesn't
dude,
sound like something you want to have.
this
I'm
dude
just saying.
could randomly just be like, and I'm out.
It could
but
it could just hemorrhage and you have a stroke.
Yeah.
at any time.
I mean, anything can happen to anybody.
Oh my God.
So then he goes, you shouldn't even be here. And I'm like, what? He's like, you're not supposed to be in the military. Like, there's no way. I was like, I didn't know about it. And he said, so you didn't know about it? And I was like, no. He said, well, you're not supposed to be here.
Well, now what? Because I am.
Wow, yeah. So he was telling me that I could medically separate from the military, but I was about to deploy.
Mhm.
And, you do all the training and all that stuff. And,
Get all hyped up.
yeah, you get all hyped up and jacked up on, rippets and whatever. And
Ribbits and patriotism.
so I asked him, I was like, hey, if I'm not having any symptoms of anything, can I just stay in? And he said, yeah, I'll sign off on it. I was like, sweet.
Wait, you deployed after you knew you had this?
Yeah. I signed
okay,
up.
but let's think about it rationally.
I signed
here.
up. I made a commitment.
Well, let's think about it rationally here. If you're in a war zone, you could die at any time anyway. So,
Let's be worth
it's
something.
the same. Yeah, it's the same,
You know how
ratio,
you know
I
how
guess.
you know how on the last episode or whatever you were talking about going and on your walkabout and whatever bullshit, and you wanted to do something with your life.
Yeah.
You wanted to plant your flag somehow.
Yeah.
I think something similar. And I think young men do that. But I'll tell you this. You know how many young men went to war?
Few thousand. Oh, you're talking
Over time.
Oh, over time.
There is not one trail that has not been walked. You're you're not discovering anything. And so,
Oh, you want to bet?
I mean,
I'll go
actually,
find
you know
one.
what? People are finding new insects all the time and stuff.
Well,
You know, it'd be cool.
There are places in the sea that no person has ever seen.
Yeah, you're not going there.
Why not?
That's expensive, dude.
Somewhat. If you go via sailboat, it's just sketchy as and could get you killed.
Wait a second. No. I'm talking about inside the ocean, like deep under.
Oh no, I'm talking surface. There are surfaces no one's ever seen. We have no idea what's on the bottom of the ocean.
I bet you that the surfaces of those oceans that people haven't seen look very similar to the surfaces of the oceans that have been seen.
But how do we know there's not some underwater thing that affects the surface of the water there?
I don't give a shit.
How do we know there's not some
God,
underwater
I admire
volcano that
Can we just pause
supports
for a
the whole
minute? Did
thing?
you have surgery? I'm very concerned. Did you have surgery to correct this? Are you? No? You're looking
The
at me.
cavernous malformation?
Yes.
No. I can't do anything about that. It's in the location of it. So if we were to I'm trying to illustrate, if you cut my head in half, like at the nose, and cut it
hamburger style?
and cut it in half hamburger style, it's like somewhere like in that.
It's in the middle.
It's in the middle and it's low.
So if you tried to cut into it, you might nick like
Oh,
your
man, no,
spine or
it's-
something, dude. You're not.
So wait,
getting
you
there.
started this though by saying that you were explaining the thing on your head.
So I did end up having surgery for the hydrocephalus. We can correct hydrocephalus.
Before you deployed?
No.
Oh, I was like, hold on a minute.
So I went on that deployment. I spent 15 months in Iraq. It was fun. I came back. We got ready for another deployment. I went on that deployment. That was 12 months. And at the end of that deployment, I started losing my vision.
Oh, that's fun.
And then, no, it wasn't. It was kind of, listen, I'm not going to lie, man. And I don't care what anybody says. I was a little nervous when that started happening.
Well, and you're in a war zone, so like, if you start,
Oh, no. I don't want to give you the wrong impression. At this time, I was a battle captain.
a what?
What does that mean?
That sounds like some sci-fi stuff.
No,
right
no,
there.
no. I sat in a TOC, which is a tactical operations center.
Oh,
and I just,
one of my video games says that. They're like, talk. We got one suspect down here. It's a police thing also.
yeah. So yeah, police will try to mimic the army and have a TOC as well.
Or it's a SWAT. That game's a SWAT team game.
Yeah. Like I said. But when that happened and I came back. So just like when you're getting ready to deploy and you're doing all this bullshit, hearing, vision, shots, and all that stuff, when you come back, you do the same thing. And I was talking to a nurse there, and I said, "Hey, I need to make an appointment for this hydrocephalus. I was having a little bit of trouble." And she goes, "You have hydrocephalus?" And I was like, "Yeah." And she goes, "Oh my God, well, how are you in the army?" And we start doing this bullshit again. So I'm like, "Hey, I don't know." Well, I tell her the story and everything. But then she starts telling me about this patient she has, 21 years old. And I think at the time, I was 20, I want to say I was 26. But her patient that she's talking about, 21 years old, wakes up one morning completely blind. And she's like, I'm not going to tell you anymore. I think I said enough. And I was like, oh, no, you don't. No, you don't. You don't start that bullshit and get me all worked up and not finish. She goes, well, I won't tell you his name or anything. I'm like, I don't care about his name. And she starts finishing it. She says, yeah, woke up blind. So we find out he has hydrocephalus. They do his surgery, put a shunt in, which is what I have. And like a lot of times what happens is like when you have surgeries, you can get infections.
Mm-hmm.
Apparently, this gentleman got an infection. He ended up dying like a few days later. It's dangerous.
Well, yeah. I mean, you're cutting your head open.
Yeah. It's dangerous. And then it's like you're breaking the blood-brain barrier and everything. That's not, you're not
So
supposed to
it's-
do that.
So it's either let them cut open your brain or your head.
That's my sweet love leaving.
Either cut open your head and put this thing in, or just go blind and maybe die anyway.
Listen, the only option was to get the shunt. We weren't going to fuck around with that, dude. It's like when you have a third testicle, you go to the friggin' doctors, you know? Like, you know, at some point, you have to be like, all right, I tried to walk it off as best I could. And we have to let a professional do it now.
So, like, does it hurt?
Does what hurt?
The shunt, like now.
No. You know, it's weird. Like, 'cause so the shunt, basically it's a pump. It pumps the fluid out a different way. And it comes out through a tube that's like right here. If we had a camera, this is not a vein, that's a tube. And it goes down to my stomach, and that's where all the spinal fluid goes. Now, this tube is like right underneath my skin. And well, it's underneath the muscle too. So it's up against your breastplate and you know, behind the muscle. So like sometimes when I stretch, I can feel that tube pulling. And
Oh, that's so weird. Ugh.
It does feel weird. It does feel weird. But like honestly, when I feel it, I know I'm alive. You know?
That's wild.
It does feel weird.
When I feel this tube get a little tight, I'm like, ooh, that's living.
Man, it does. It feels weird when I'm, and it only happens once in a while. When it gets a little bunched up, I guess.
Do they ever have
That's
to replace
wild.
the tube, or this is
So-
for life?
So, and I was going to say this because I have a video of the first surgery I had, which was not the shunt. So the first surgery, they stuck like this device in there with this balloon-like device on the end of it, and they blew up the balloon to make the space bigger so that the fluid would drain in its natural way. But the space closed back up like a few months after the surgery. So that's when we went and did the shunt.
Your body was like, bro, I've been doing this so long. Don't try and change it right now. I don't feel like it.
Yeah. You know, I tell people this is because this is insane. I'm gonna get Sweetness to find the pictures of my brain, so and we'll see if we can put it up on the
We can.
the website.
What does Teacup's brain look like?
Bro, the ventricles. Listen, I'm gonna toot my own horn right now. I think I'm a pretty smart person. You know, I at least went to the
Just let
10th
it go.
grade.
Just let it go. Just let it go.
You know, I went to the 10th grade. You know.
Wait, I made it through further than he did. I made it to the 11th one.
Joke's on you. I have an associate's degree, asshole.
Dang it.
But you know, it just goes to show that you can have an awful lot of ventricle where brain is supposed to be, and you still be all right. You're gonna be all right. Did you ever hear the story? Like, there's a few of these where like a kid or a dude like will lose part of their head and part of their brain,
Yeah.
and those are insane.
There was
Well, that's like you were a single artery umbilical cord, and that wasn't supposed to be okay.
I'm still here. There was a guy, I forget, it happened like the 1800s. These two dudes got in a duel, right? Both of them got shots off before both of them shot, both of them hit each other, which is extremely rare. Usually, they might both shoot, but they'll both miss because they were cap and ball, extremely inaccurate.
Smooth barrel.
Both of them hit each other.
Or
One guy,
smoothbore.
both of them get hit in the face. One of them dies. The other one has a channel bored through his head. Lives to tell the tale. All he has is he's got this hole right here that I point right here, right above his right eye, that filled in, and then he's got another one in the back, but they X-rayed his not X-rayed. What's that called?
MRI?
They didn't have
CT
MRI
scan?
in the
No.
1800s.
When he was still somewhat
Dissected
preserved.
once he was dead?
Yeah.
Mhm.
So he, there was a channel, I think they said it was 2 inches wide, bored through his head. And he walked around. He lived until he was
There's people
40.
that get stabbed in the head and they're walking around, don't even know they're stabbed, or
Yeah.
weird shit, man. The brain is
It doesn't make sense.
no,
Nothing
incredible.
makes sense.
no.
I had a hairdresser that they removed almost half of her brain. She could still cut hair like crazy. She was great.
Oh, dude, fun fact. First of all, you can sell parts of your liver. You only need 25% of your liver to live. and your liver grows back. So technically that, and I think they said if you cut it back, it'll all grow back in like 4 years. So you could every 4 years, and it's worth a lot. You could sell 75% of your liver.
Full disclosure, that is illegal in this country. Do not say
you can't
can
just
sell.
This sounds like some
I have free will.
back page
No.
There's this thing called the dark web.
No.
dark web
Oh, we're gonna get
bullshit.
sued.
It's remarkably easy to get onto, and it's legal. It's just what you do on the dark web that might be illegal.
You know what I'm not doing? Selling any piece of my liver.
I'm telling you, there are times where I'm like, dude,
I don't think I've ever been hurting that bad. I've been real fucking poor, dude. I don't think I've ever been hurting that bad where I was like,
I
you
wish
know
I remembered how much it was, but it was a lot of money for your liver. Look it up. How much is a human liver worth?
Livers are worth about $557,000.
So 3/4 of that?
we are not. No. I don't even think we shouldn't even
That's
have said.
according to
We
the
shouldn't even
medical
have said that
futures.
number. We're gonna have a bunch of your generation ate Tide Pods. We're gonna have a bunch of 20,
Hey, don't lump me in with that. I
19
did not
and 20-year-olds
eat Tide Pods.
trying to sell their fucking liver for some like Taylor Swift concert tickets or something.
I'm down, dude. I'd be able to afford rent for a while.
Swift tickets?
I don't know. They're expensive.
Do
Dude,
not
I'd be able-
invoke the name of Taylor in
I'd
this
be able-
conversation.
Listen, she's very talented.
You leave
and
her alone.
Therefore, the tickets happen to be kind of expensive, or they can be. And I imagine there are some T-Sweezy fans that'll sell a liver. Maybe not theirs, maybe chips.
Hey, whoa. I never said I wanted my liver to be sold. I said it was possible. and
That's
that
all right.
I
In this
wouldn't
scenario, you don't
necessarily
even have an
oppose.
option. You're in a motel bathroom, like barely awake.
According to
ice.
Wikipedia, it is $4,000 to $157,000 that you can get.
Dude, I'm telling you.
But you can't get it in this country. It's illegal. To be very clear to every
How much does a
listener that you
passport
have,
cost?
we are in the United States and we are in no way advocating for the sale or purchase of body organs.
How much does a passport cost?
So, ultimately, what I want to say is that
You have a shunt.
when we have things that are like weird and like we try to like take care of ourselves, at some point we have to like just say, hey, we need a professional involved here. I say, we draw that line at dicks and balls. Like, always
Agreed.
get a doctor involved in that.
Agreed. Can't mess with that.
Nope. I think your booty hole. You got a problem with your booty hole? Get the doctor involved.
Well, yeah, because it's within the close vicinity of the rest of it. Too.
Absolutely. And then, obviously for me, I don't know about anybody else, but you can lay claim to any other thing that you think is important. But I think when I start losing my vision, I think that was an important time.
Vision's a good one. Hearing's a good one. Anything with your brain's a good one. And I think if your heart's a good one. And breathing. That's kind
Oh,
of
man, I
important.
started getting like I had this doctor who was giving me like the EKGs and stuff. And he recommended it. And I was worried. I was like, hey, because he's like, he's got the stethoscope. He's listening to my heart and all that stuff. And he goes, oh, we're going to do an EKG. And I was like, oh, shit, is there something wrong?
Am I going to die?
And he was like, no, I'm just making sure.
Bro, what?
And I was like, oh,
Just
okay."
checking.
Dude, I love my doctors. I go there and they're like friends. I talk to them. I just shoot the shit with them. I pull my willy out, no problem. I don't laugh hysterically.
Just unsolicited. And that's what I'm imagining when he said that.
No.
Just unsolicited. He's like, hey, you want to
No.
check on this real quick for me while I'm here?
Yeah, man. They're the professionals. Dude, if I have a problem, I don't care. I say it. And I'm showing you, I'm telling you, I don't care. Do you get nervous when you're some people get nervous at the doctors, man.
Nervous? No.
So you'll whip the willy out too, won't you?
I mean, there's a line. Like, it depends. I don't get nervous from going to the doctor, but it depends. Like, there's a line where I'm like, okay, that now I'm a little nervous. It's a little weird.
You won't go to the doctor right now and you can't breathe.
Because I don't want to.
Mm-hmm. You just said lungs and heart were important.
Okay, actually, I can breathe. I just
Oh, no, yeah, you're
momentarily.
talking.
Get him coughing. He sounds like he's about to die.
Well, let's
I
do
heard
it.
it.
It's only when I'm tired.
After,
First thing in the morning, and then right before I go to bed.
after the show, we're going to run a lap around the parking lot.
Oh, I won't be able to breathe. Yeah.
So what's your advice there, Teacup?
Go to the fucking doctor.
I did twice, and it didn't work.
Well, then you tell them. Because, like, this is the thing. And people will get mad at doctors. Oh, they don't know what they're talking about.
They went to school.
I went here and they met. So sometimes things have to be ruled out, right? Not everything's 100%. We're not 100% certain about anything. Nobody's 100% certain about anything except death and taxes.
Valid.
And taxes on death.
Yeah. And so, like, you're upset. You went there twice. You're still having an issue. Well, obviously, the 2 times that you went there, they thought something and then either told you to do something or gave you a prescription and then told you to take it in whatever manner. If that doesn't work, then whatever they thought was wrong and could be fixed with that and wasn't, then they need to reevaluate. It's something else. Have you ever watched House?
No. I've seen the clips on YouTube and stuff and on TikTok. but I
Once
haven't
he's
seen
looking
the whole
all
thing.
shocked here. She
love
knew
House.
damn well he didn't watch House.
I love how I've seen. Really? You haven't seen House?
I've seen the clip. Like, I know what it is because I've seen the clips on YouTube and TikTok, but I haven't seen the full show. I don't know where to watch it.
What?
I will remedy that for you.
Yeah, fix that. But anyways,
He said, "Fix yourself."
He did. Point being, you've got to go back.
yeah, you have to
You're
go
still
back.
sick.
Maybe my body will just—it's getting better.
Did I
Just
tell you
really
about?
slowly.
I tell you about my buddy. He was weird about the doctors. He had a hemorrhoid. And he ended up having to cut the hemorrhoid out of his own ass.
Jesus. I don't think I have a hemorrhoid though.
This episode is never getting through.
The amount that's going to be left on the cutting room
He
floor.
said, I'm not letting them do it. I'll do it myself. They just tell me.
That's insane.
He did.
No
How
way.
did he even see it? To
A
be able...
mirror.
No.
That's
I'm not
wild.
I am not fucking lying. That is
Save some money though.
that is the truth. No, we were in the military.
Oh. Wait, so he would have gotten it done for free.
Yeah, he just
never
did-
would have seen these
He
people
just didn't
again.
want- he just. What do you mean? There are medics. We see them every
Oh.
day. We
Wait.
eat with them. We shower with them.
Oh no!
Hey man, how's your ass? You know that's
Just
weird.
sits down with his plate of food.
You know
Hey,
it's
man,
even more for me.
How are your hemorrhoids?
You know what? I think the dude's a stud. Because I'm telling you right now. Because you have to cut it out, right?
Yeah.
I'm not taking a scalpel next to my asshole. I'm not like
nah.
no. I want a professional. I'll hold the cheeks. I'll do that because I'm courteous. But I'm not digging into my ass with a scalpel. You know?
Dude, we're gonna make people they're gonna start coughing because they're not gonna be able to breathe from laughing so much at this.
My point is you let the professionals do it. Dude, my first deployment. So we were in Kuwait for like 2 weeks, and it was hot as hell there. It's in the desert, like desert. There's no trees, no nothing. And dude, I ended up getting a blister on my ankle, new boots. What a friggin' rookie! You could tell I was a rookie. I thought I was cool walking around with new boots like a friggin' idiot. I ended up getting a blister, and then I got MRSA.
What's that?
It's like staph, but you can't kill MRSA with penicillin. I don't think you have to use something stronger for that.
Oh, it's like an infection or something?
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Dude, I couldn't walk. It hurt to walk.
When you said staph, I thought
They
you
had
were
to go
talking
in.
about
They had to
staph
like
duty.
dig
I was
out
like,
this thing on my heel. It was terrible.
So go to the doctor.
Oh,
If
yeah.
Teacup is going to the doctor,
And I do all
I don't
kinds
have
of.
time to go to the doctor.
Listen,
a
I'm gonna
war
tell you like
veteran,
this.
a private security guy who worked for things we do not name out loud.
Listen,
I don't
I'm
have
going
time
to
to
tell
go to
you.
the doctor,
Well, I
dude.
don't go to the doctors for everything. There's been times, well, when I was younger, teenager, maybe party a little too hard with some cocaine, and I thought I was going to like have a heart attack and nope. I laid in bed. That's where they were going to find me. I didn't go to the doctor. You don't go to the doctors for that kind of shit. You stay home for that. You just die in your bed.
Didn't we just talk about heart and lung?
Yeah, but so here's the thing. If I take the drugs, if I willingly take the drugs, and I don't do this anymore, okay? But when I was younger, and my thought process was, if I am willingly taking these drugs, which I was, then I am going to suffer all the repercussions.
And that was worth dying for?
I had some good times, dude. I already said it earlier in this episode. We're here for a good time, not a long time.
I feel like I need to note that
So
neither the 1C Story Network nor anyone on this show nor anyone affiliated with this show advocates the use of illegal substances.
Most certainly, I do not.
Go ahead.
But like when you're young and you make mistakes. Fortunately, we live in America where this is the land of second chances
And third.
and thirds
And fourth.
and fourths.
Sometimes fifth, and I don't know, maybe 30.
But you know what I did learn from all that stuff. One, I asked my brother. I told my brother, I was like, "Hey man, do you shave your nuts?" And he said, "No, man, I'm afraid to cut my shit off."
Bro, what?
And I was like, "All right,
I feel like we're saying two different things by shaving.
yeah." Like,
Are we talking
See
trimmer
how-
or are we talking
see how
blade?
smooth your face is?
That's insane. That's terrifying.
Why?
I was also told that wasn't.
You use a straight razor or something?
No.
Hey, yeah,
A
if
trimmer. You know the and it's not a sponsored thing, but the Manscaped things. I got one of those.
Well, you said enough times, and they could be.
I mean, that'd be nice.
Well,
will
I
get
really
in
like
touch.
it. What?
I will get in touch. Moving on.
I really, dude. for
So,
real, I do like their stuff.
I don't know if my brother was fucking with me, but he says he nares his balls, and I was like, "Really?"
No.
I'm like, "That has to hurt."
Right? That's gotta burn.
And this is why I'm thinking
What
he's
if it
fucking.
It
gets-
doesn't
What if it gets
burn?
in the hole though?
Why are you putting it on the tip of
Why
your
are you-
dick?
what?
Why are you? Why?
If you miss, okay. If you miss, or
How
if
the
you're not-
hell are you missing?
It's 8:00. You've been working. You've worked a full shift. And you're
I'll
like, I
tell you
gotta
what.
get
If
this
you're
done.
that tired, don't nair your
nair.
balls.
But you know that
Save it.
had to have happened.
Listen, I feel like nair is an experience that you'll want to like take in. You know?
No, I don't think it is.
So I
it's a get it over with.
No. And then he goes. It says to leave it on for 10 minutes.
That's right.
But I go for 20.
Oh my God, he's
And
gonna
I'm
get
like,
have
That will
scarring.
burn your skin.
I'm
Oh,
like, there's no fucking way. He's got to be messing with me.
you
he has
cannot
to
leave it
be.
on for 20 minutes. You'll hurt yourself. It'll burn.
I don't know. Maybe he's more of a, maybe his nuts are manlier than mine. And
See, maybe-
that could be a thing.
I mean, it's literally
There's
burning
no-
away the hair. You can't. No, don't anybody.
I'm
can't
do
just
that.
gonna be
imagine, like,
honest. Like,
I can't imagine longer than like 5 minutes.
it's not
You
like
can leave it on up to 10 minutes.
That's nah.
How do you think women are taking care of their bikini line?
Well, this is why I said, man, we
Shaving.
got to be courteous.
You know how he started this episode telling you about an ingrown hair?
Yeah.
That's caused by shaving.
Yeah.
Do you really think that we're all shaving our bikini lines all the time?
I don't know.
You know how you don't
We're
get
not.
ingrown hairs? If you nair it or if you
Mhm.
wax it. Apparently, from what I've been told.
Okay, but you couldn't wax your balls. That would
No,
Can
you
you
can
imagine
wax your
when they-
balls.
when they pull it though.
No, listen again.
Dude,
Listen. You all right?
my voice
So
would
I've
sound
thought
like
about
a dog
this.
whistle,
I've
dude.
thought about this. No.
Oh, I'm sure you have thought about
I
it.
did, because I was like, man, I might have to figure out another way to be courteous. If you batwing your sack, you know.
What? Oh, okay. It's like, what?
I've made
If
a
you-
wrong career choice.
If you
Batwing.
if you do
I
that,
have never heard that
but again,
before.
again, these people, if you go to a professional, now you're an employee now because you're batwinging your own shit. Because they only got 2 hands, dude. They gotta put the wax down, they gotta put the tape down, they can't stretch your shit out. You know, it's
I mean, I'm okay with that.
Nah, it's too much.
Because what if they because they can't feel what it feels like, right? So what if they pull too hard? That hurt.
Did you watch the 40-Year-Old Virgin like I instructed?
I did not.
Oh God.
I need to keep a list.
Did you say that would hurt? Do
If
you
they
think
pulled
we
too
enjoy
You know who-
getting waxed all
No,
the time?
but like if they're, I'm saying if you're not doing anything, right? Hands off, hands are behind the head, or I don't know, hands crossing. I don't know, but
I don't know. For that one, I think I'd want to be holding my batwing.
exactly because then you know if
Because
someone else
because
is
it's
doing it-
sturdy,
Ex-
you know?
well,
You get a
that-
sturdy hand on it.
I feel like Nair is your friend.
I feel like it is too. Because honestly, I'm not gonna have some. You
I
know,
might try that now. It's a little scary. I'm not gonna lie, but I don't know. That seems a little.
I mean, it's the consistency of lotion. Aren't you familiar with?
You think? And let me ask you something.
I'm just-
Do you think he was busting my chops about the 20 minutes?
Yes.
Oh, for sure. He had to be.
Because it does start to burn your skin if you leave it on over the 10 minutes. There are some women, if the hair is very, very coarse, that will flirt a little past that 10 minutes, maybe get up to 12. But I mean, even the inserts will tell you don't leave this on over 10 minutes.
Can you
because
not just
it'll-
take it off and then do it again?
No, you cannot No, that will burn your skin as well.
No, I'm saying like take it off, wash everything, right? Start from scratch. There's gonna be, you do it one time. If it's really coarse, most of it comes off the first try. You
You're done
wash
for the
everything
day.
off. You restart. You wash
You're done
everything.
for the day. You
No,
ain't doing that
You got
again.
one time. You're done for the day. You can try it again 24 hours later, maybe, but you're done for the day.
I feel like I'm not understanding how strong this stuff is.
It is strong. It is burn your nostrils when it comes out of the container. Strong. You can smell it in the next room. Strong.
So it's
I
a
think-
chemical weapon.
Yeah. So I think like we used to fuck with dudes. I think somebody did this to somebody putting air in their shorts. I don't know.
So that's how that right there. That's how it gets in the pee hole.
Yeah, I guess that could happen.
Yep.
That would hurt.
Dude, you ever get
Massively.
soap?
Yes.
Man, that sucks, dude.
Because you're never expecting it. Because it doesn't happen regularly, and then all of a sudden you're just like,
You ever have a fingernail?
oh no.
I won't tell you who.
There are so many ways that I wish this episode would end.
Dude. A fingernail, bro. I don't know.
You know there's somebody that's into that though.
There's all kinds of people into that. You ever heard of what's that shit called?
S&M?
No.
No.
Rotting, not rotting.
Pegging?
Not pegging. That's
That's the
I don't
that's
know
the
where
flip
his
side.
brain, right? Like, where's his brain
I
going?
know. I wish I could. Anyways, they get like this metal thing. They stick it in the dude's pee-pee hole,
Oh hell no!
and then but it's the
Sound levels.
but they you know what's that? What's that?
I'm sorry, I had to
instrument
take a
that
lap
you-
for that one.
to
No, they put it in.
An instrument to what? You're looking at me.
yeah. Oh yeah, because you're smarter than he is.
Oh,
That's not offensive to you, man. She's been here longer, bro.
Valid.
nah.
But to do like a sound
What?
like a sound thing. Like
I love that she's not looking it up because she's like, I
I
don't
don't even
want
know
that.
what I would Google. I don't. A sound probe,
no. You know
a tuning fork.
yes.
Oh,
So
my
it's kind of like
goodness.
that.
Okay. Whew.
But it's kind of like that. And then like they ring the dude's bell, I guess. I don't know. Some people.
No.
I don't know
No
which concerns
way.
me more, the fact that this happens or the fact that you somehow came
You
across
know
this
about it.
information. What were you doing to learn this? I don't want to know. I take it back.
Well, no, we're doing this.
Okay. He's like, the military's a crazy place, man.
No. Oh, dude. I told the guys about a Fifi the other day.
They told me this morning. I was like,
Did they?
yes, we were talking.
That's great.
Because our professor was late. Professor? Or teacher? Whatever.
No, why do you guys do
instructor,
that? He
Instructor.
doesn't profess a word.
Instructor.
He instructs,
Okay,
though.
our instructor was late, so we were left to our own devices.
Oh,
and they were giving us those of us who intern and aren't there every day gave us a little update on what we've been missing and
I told them
some
about a
DIY
Fifi.
projects.
Yeah, I told them about a Fifi. But yeah, man.
Well, and now you're calling they're calling one of our classmates Fifi.
Yeah, supposedly he said it was his nickname.
That's what he told us. We were like, what?
I'm like, you're a masturbation device?
That's unfortunate, man. That would also mean he's a tool. So
You
he's
know,
gonna kill me when he hears this.
I think ultimately what I wanted to get out today was just basically, because if you go on the website, you see the pictures and all that stuff, you see who I am. That's usually like the first thing people ask, which is fucking annoying. And I used to tell people I just don't know how to mind my own business.
I'm gonna be real. I didn't even notice it until about 2 or 3 months after I'd already met. I just totally wasn't paying attention.
I noticed it. I just assumed you'd been in a fight or something. And that it was not my business.
So yeah, so most people are courteous and they tend to mind their own business and they don't think that they are owed other people's medical information. You'd be surprised by how many people do think that they're owed other people's medical information.
Oh,
But
don't you know it's their world. We're just living in it.
for the sake of the show, I just figured I'd just put it out there. Somebody did come up to me one time. I was at an event and I was working and they saw me and they came up to me and they're like, "Hey man, you mind if I ask you a question?" I was like, "Shoot." I already knew where we were going. I was like, "Shoot, dude." And he was like, "Is that from Hydrocephalus?" And I was like, "Jesus, dude.
How'd you know?
You're the first one." I was like, "Yeah, man."
Well, and when I first saw it, I thought it was shrapnel. I was like, oh, I knew he was in the military. He must have
Yeah.
gotten blown up or something.
No. But that gentleman had a son that had hydrocephalus as well. So that's how he knew. But like I was saying, you get some weird shit going on. You're gonna go do a walkabout. Remember I told you about my friend that did it? Dude, he had trench foot pretty bad. So you gotta take care of yourself.
Change your socks.
Yes, change your socks, take care of yourself. You get something weird happening. I ever tell you about the dude that had the three brown recluse bites on his ass?
Okay, and now we're going to say goodbye.
We'll save it for another time. All right, I'll see you guys.
Adios.
This is Teacup Talks on the 1C Story Network. School Teacup on the power of Patreon by joining the group at patreon.com/Teacup Talks. Or just go to teacuptalks.com for listen links and more. That's teacuptalks.com.
The 1C Story Network, for the love of stories.